Good morning, gang. It's my. Grab your Bibles. We're going to be in the book of Luke today. I know, different from what we usually are, but we're going to be popping around through all four of the different Gospels for the last part of Christ's life, for his crucifixion, because each one of them gives a different viewpoint. It was what was important to them. So I want you to go to Luke chapter 23, almost to the very end of Luke. Luke chapter 23. We're going to be reading 26 and 20 through 28 today. So just three little verses, but we're going to see what's in them. Okay, so Luke 23, 26 through 28, and it says, "And they led him away. They laid hold upon one Simon, a Cyrenian, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the cross that he might bear it after Jesus." Now, I want you to get the whole picture. Remember, Jesus had left Pilate's hall. He'd come from the prison, went to Pilate. Pilate said, "You can have him. I don't want him. You can take him out and crucify him. I don't care what you do with him, but get him out of my sight." So they took him, and then the soldiers tortured him. They mocked him. They scourged him with a cat of nine tails. And then they threw his robe back on. And then they took this cross. Now, it wasn't just a little simple tiny cross. This was a huge piece of lumber that was going to have to go into the ground and very high up. So a long piece of lumber with a crossbar that was just as heavy. So I want you to think about this. Here's Christ. He has a thorn of crowns on his head. It's going to stay there for the rest of the time. Blood is streaming down his face. His back is ripped to shreds. Now, Arthur can kind of understand this a little bit by having been bitten and having things ripped. Now, think about that on your whole back. His whole body was mangled. And then they threw this cross on his back to make him drag it through the street. Now, the street wasn't like the paved roads we have here. This was a stone road. And when Papa and I were there, I was tripping on the stones all the time. And I can't imagine what it must have been like. Here he is physically ready to die, and they put this heavy cross on him, and he's dragging it through the streets, and every step, this wasn't a nicely sanded piece of wood. It had not been in James's wood shop. This had splinters, and it was digging into his back. So instead of making him take it the whole way out of the city, which was it's a long walk, but they were going to have him take it the whole way out. They found a man, and his name, let me find it once again, verse 26, his name was Simon, and he was from the area of Cyrene. And they asked him, they put the cross, I don't really think they asked him. I think they just saw him and said, "You're going to carry the cross." But, I mean, he was a good, strong man, so it wasn't so bad. And he carried that cross that he might bear it after Jesus. So Jesus had to bear it for a while. Now, some of the Gospels don't tell us that. And so that's why I really wanted to show you in Luke. Now, Luke is a doctor, so he thinks about things like that. Interesting point of view. So Simon is dragging the cross, and Christ is walking with him. And there followed them a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. They were crying. These were people that had followed Jesus Christ for the last 3.5 years. And here he is being ready to be crucified. And they just didn't know what to do with themselves. But Jesus turned unto them, said, "Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children." Even at Christ on his worst day, he didn't think about himself. He thought about the people around him. And I'm sure he felt very badly for those women that had no clue what was happening. And why are they crucifying this innocent man that we've been following? He's our God, he's our master, and they're crucifying him. And he says, "Don't weep for me, weep for yourselves." because the Jews had just said, we will take this upon us and on our children. And he says, weep for yourselves and for your children. And he goes on and he tells them that it's going to get worse for people here on the earth. And they shall begin to say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. Wow. Jesus cared the whole way to the cross. Something really important for you to remember about today. Even on his worst day, he was caring for the people around him. I'm not sure what the question will be today. I hope you were listening. Maybe it'll be something obscure that you don't even, you can't imagine. But we're going to try to find something that's good that you'll remember. But I want you to remember this. Jesus cares and loves you. I do too. Hope you're having a great day.